Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today is May 18th and this is my weekly shop update. I got a bunch of stuff to go over today, so let's get into it. Now the first thing going on in the shop this week is I continued working on my shop desk cabinet thingy. The biggest, the biggest change, the biggest move forward is I have all the drawer fronts and the pulls applied, so the whole bank of drawers is now done and ready to go, and I'm really happy with the way the drawer fronts turned out. I like the look of this, I don't know what you want to call it, distressed or punky white oak. It has a really cool look to it. Now the other thing with the desk is the desktop itself. I have it here on the bench. Actually, let me back up the camera a little bit. So I have it here on the bench and I'm just finishing up sanding it. I applied the, I guess it was like a spalted maple strip to the front of it, and that looks really cool. This is a really cool piece of spalted maple, and that looks really nice next to this normal looking maple. So that's really cool. The other thing I'm doing with this is I'm going to try a water-based finish. I picked up this can of General Finch's High Performance. It's a water-based, I think it's a water-based like poly kind of thing, but I've never tried a water-based finish before. And shop furniture is a good time to try new finishes, so I thought I'd try it on this. One of the reasons I wanted to try a water-based finish on this was because the water-based finishes supposedly put less yellow into the final piece. So I'm trying to keep this piece of maple looking fairly white, and I know if I put an oil-based top coat on here, it will turn more of a yellow. So I'm going to see if the water-based finish keeps it more white than yellow. And hopefully it does, and I'll get the look I'm looking for. Now the other really big thing in the shop is the cutting boards. The cutting board factory, I'm going to call it. I'm still progressing through all of my scraps and still trying to get rid of them all. I've gotten through probably about half of my larger ones, my like full boards that I'm trying to get rid of. Those are the ones that are, you know, they might have a lot of wane on them, they might be punky, or they might have some rotten spots that I need to cut around. But I've gotten through a lot of material, and I have I don't know, 12 or so blanks. They're longer blanks too. They're about 3 to 4 feet long. I got 12 of those, so that should make me about probably 18. I'll probably get about 18 cutting boards out of that. And yeah, I'm not really even halfway through all of my scraps, so this is going to be a 50 cutting board run. I'm pretty confident in that number. I'm really confident in that number, at least 50, and it's going to kill me, I think. Because I honestly forgot how much work it is to put the blanks together, because it's just so much cutting and planing and getting them all assembled into those blanks, and then from there it's a little bit easier, but this is really tedious work. The other really big thing this week is I started on the bassinet. I pulled the stock for it and I got it all cut up into the project parts to the rough sizes. So I cut up, a few weeks ago, I shared how I picked up a big slab of walnut off Craigslist for 50 bucks, and one of them, or I picked up 3 of them for 50 bucks a piece, and one of them was really badly checking. This is an offcut from it, so you can see how much checking there was. It just absolutely split up, and there was no way to really get a nice, like, really big cuttings out of it. And I honestly had a lot of problems getting these, like, just basically a square stock out of it, because there was so much checking and cracking in that board. But I was able to get all my project parts out of like half that slab, so that's really cool. I'm really happy about that. And it's all out of the same board, so it's all going to have some really nice color matching, or nice color continuity between all the pieces. So I was able to cut out all these square stock, and then for the rockers, that's going to be more of a rectangular stock. So that's all cut out, and it's been resting. And I'm planning to start working on the final milling and starting the joinery tomorrow. So that's going to be a fun little project to start. It's going to be somewhat challenging because it does have a lot of angled joinery in it. So that should be an interesting challenge. But the really fun thing, like always with this big stock, this stuff was 4 1/4 inches thick. I got to use my beam saw, which is always fun to use, and I'm so glad I kept that thing, because it comes in really handy for the random things like this that I sometimes do. So that's awesome. So last Thursday was a really fun day for me. I was out in the woods with my friend Jim cutting up trees to be pulled out and rolled into lumber. Those days are always so much fun, and I have such a great time out there. And as I've done in the past, that will be a video as well. I brought my camera with me, and I got some really awesome shots of the day as we were working. We got a lot of stuff done. We got a lot of logs pulled out of the forest, a lot of distressed trees. Every single time I go out there, there's always something new, always something on the ground that we haven't seen before or whatever. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff, so that's going to be probably got enough stuff for another milling day. So we'll probably be doing that again in the near future. But I think one of these days I'm gonna have to pick up a GoPro for those days, because that would be a lot easier to use than my little camcorder. This is what I take out in the woods with me. This little setup right here. Cheap tripod and my little handy cam. And I just set that up. If I'm working or I'm cutting a tree, I'll just put that on the ground next to me, hit the record button, and just kind of leave it. Or I might try and hold it if I'm trying to like show something that like Jim's doing. Or in the past, in my snowy day in the woods video, I actually had this with a clamp, and I clamped it to the Bobcat, and that worked out all right too. But I think the versatility of the GoPro with those clamping options would be really helpful for that kind of video especially. And if you saw my video last week about identifying cherry trees, that was kind of a fun little test. I shot the whole thing on my iPhone, and I thought that was kind of fun because I haven't shot any actual video on here before. So I shot the video on my iPhone, just kind of seeing how that would work or how it would look as being shot on the phone. And it looked like it turned out really well, so I'm like, okay, well, let's see if people are interested in this. So I uploaded that video, and I got a lot of great response, and it seems like a really popular topic, so I'll be doing more of the tree identification in the future. So I look forward to those as well. All right, so one last thing to share this week is I picked up a trailer last night, actually. I've been looking for a trailer I've been wanting a trailer for a while. I've been actually looking for one for about a month now. And I had a pretty limited budget. I was looking for an equipment trailer so I could have something that would have a lot of payload capacity. So the one I picked up is a 10-foot long trailer, which is another thing I wanted. I wanted a short one because I didn't want like a 16-foot trailer because I didn't really have anywhere to put that. So the one I got is a 10-foot trailer, and it's about 6 feet wide, and I think it's going to work out really well. One of the things that I want to do with it is add a log lifting arch to the back of it so I can pick up logs and put them onto the trailer. Those things are really handy, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted a trailer so badly, is so I could have that log lifting arch on the trailer, and then I can do a lot more of urban salvaging. So I see a lot of trees that come down or are on Craigslist as being, cut down, and if I had a way to actually go there and pick up that log and bring it back here, then I could actually cut into lumber a little bit easier than trying to ask them hey, can I cut it on site with my chainsaw mill? That's a little more of an ask, because the homeowner is just trying to get rid of it, and they don't want all that noise there in their yard. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. The one thing on the trailer is the brakes aren't hooked up. It does have brakes on all 4 axles, but they're not hooked up. So actually, they're not wired at all. They're just not hooked up at all at the hub. So this week, probably I'm going to pull off the tires and take a look at the brakes, see how the magnets are looking, and see how the pads are looking, see how the drums look, and then see if the magnet will actually be energized by just hooking up to a car battery. And we'll see how that goes. And while I'm in there, I can take a look at the bearings as well and see if it needs to be greased or anything. So it should be a fun time. Never done anything like that before, so looking forward to learning some new stuff. So I think, to look around here, I think that's all I have for this week. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I appreciate those, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.